So, no matter how bad your day is, at least it's not as bad as that guy's. Sorry for the awkward opening shot. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur, and I am live in Lake Tahoe. So many trees. So many trees. It's amazing. It's beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. And also, the data is a little mixed, I would say. So, this is kind of a test live stream. This is just a test, just to see. And somebody left that door open. I'm sorry. Hold on one second, folks. We have like a little slight conflict where, yeah, we don't want this open. Now, do we? But we are officially in Lake Tahoe. And there's a hot tub. There are trees. There is a house. I am finally gonna have time to finish this book. Finally. In the meantime, again, I don't know exactly. The Wi-Fi is not the greatest, and I don't know what the data plan is like. So we're kind of just testing out to see if this will even work. I might have to just do actual filmed videos with a different background, and the live streams just might have to wait till after I get home. But hey, I see some people watching. If this is running smoothly or not, just let me know. Well, hey Tony, how you doing? Is everything working fine? Is the video running smoothly? That would be great if it was. So, anyway, looks good. That says Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna be here for the next few days. Looking forward to like a nice little rest and relaxation, and yet I'm still making videos because that's the thing. When you do YouTube, it's pretty much an ongoing thing, as they say. We Let's see here. I am surrounded by a bunch of houses, but not a whole lot of other civilization. There was a pizza place I saw and a Safeway, so I guess that's where we will get the food. I've heard reports that there are bears out here, and they even put warnings like what to do in case of a bear. They actually encourage completely locking the windows and keeping the windows and the doors locked at all times because apparently bears are out here. And I looked on my app and there are two movie theaters around here. One 10 miles away, which is in California, and one 14 miles away, which is in Nevada. Thankfully, MoviePass seems to work with both. So Joe says he's from North Carolina, but the stream is choppy. That's interesting because I just had a few people say that the stream was perfect. I mean, this is a test. I guess we're gonna kind of do this for 15, 20 minutes just to see if it holds. I don't know if it will. And if it doesn't, well, then that's that. So anyway, I also looked up and I noticed my phone was buzzing a lot for Postmates, like it's blitzing, and I looked and it is blitzing. So it says that the voice is delayed from mouth to movement. So that could be a problem. That pretty much means that, and we're only 4 minutes into this and we're already having some audio sync problems. So this is why we're doing the test run. So what about everyone else? Does this, I mean, at first the video was perfect, but now apparently it's not doing so good. Just buffered. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of live streaming here then. But Photoshoot says the stream is good for him. Let's see here. Robert Allen says, if you got time, you should check out Virginia City. It's not too far from Lake Tahoe. I'll think about it. I'm not here alone. I'm here with family. Half of which went to the lake, and half of which are relaxing in the cabin. So we're kind of fractured that way. So I don't know if Virginia City is going to work out, but I'll kind of throw it out there. Maybe it'll work. Who knows? King Phoenix says the stream is fine. Okay. Awesome. So I figure like usually the best indicator that the stream is not doing well is when you start losing a lot of viewers. So when you see like a bunch of people just dropping off, you can tell that they're getting frustrated because they're not getting anything out of it, and they're just leaving. So, but yeah, apparently Postmates is always blitzing here. Been here for an hour and I keep getting notifications. Hey, it's blitzing, and it's like, no, this kind of makes sense. You have a bunch of tourists renting homes and cabins who don't really want to go out to eat, so they're going to order food and have it delivered. You could probably make a lot of money as a Postmates driver here. Although you have hills, have a lot of hills here, so the wear and tear on the car might be more extreme than usual. So, anyway, I'm curious from my viewers, have any of you been to? I guess Robert's been to Lake Tahoe, but has anyone else been to Lake Tahoe? I've been here before. It's been years since I've been here, but it's nice to be back. So let's see here. Sean says the stream is good. Okay, well, glad that. Carlos said no, never, just Vegas. Which I haven't been to Vegas. I've been to Reno though. And Reno is, to my knowledge, the littlest big city in the world. So, oh, it's so peaceful here. Yeah, I have to say, folks, it's kind of like, I mean, I like where I live, but there is something about just being out in nature where there's not a whole lot else around. I don't know if I can do it long term, but this is so nice. Robert used to live in Reno for 28 years. Wow. And wow, so what brought you out of Reno then? Because, I've lived in California my whole life. I've never lived anywhere else. I've lived in different parts of California, but I've never lived out of California. Oh, okay, Joe, see you later. But, yeah, just living outside of California. I mean, I thought about moving to Japan for a little while, but that didn't work out, and it was a lot more difficult to become a Japanese citizen. Bear attack. Let's see here. Do I have a bear? Nope, there's no bear. Not that I can see anyway, so. But, yeah, so I'm really tempted to move out of California sometimes. Like, go to Oregon or something. Go to Mississippi. Go someplace where there's like a city, but it's not like a super populated city where the houses are affordable. Um, guys, I appreciate you warning me, but you do realize that I can see behind me just fine, right? So, just to let you know, because I'm holding up my cell phone, so I can see behind me just fine, so. Oh, New Orleans. Okay. But, yeah, because California is just getting to be way too expensive. Like, I'm looking at the housing costs, and the funny thing is, like, the amount of money I make in, like, 38 states, I would have no problem getting a house. But here, no, well, not Lake Tahoe specifically, though maybe Lake Tahoe, but in California, you can just barely do it. So, but then a lot of the things that I write about, the movies, the Uber, the thing like that, it takes place in California, so I mean, I guess I could still report on the news. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. But it kind of helps to live in California, and of course my family's here, and I have a lot of good friends, so. But who knows what the future is going to hold. I've got a pretty good deal as far as the living arrangement go right now, but yeah, guys, I told you I can see what's in the what's behind me on the screen here. And if you want to do nothing but say, "Hey, look behind you," then we can end the live stream. It's not me being a jerk. It's just, live streams are partially interactive. all everyone's going to do is try to make me look behind me. It's like, well, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. Just not. One of the reasons I still like doing live streams is because Bao says you can get a house under 100K in Fresno. Yes, I actually have thought about Fresno. Problem with Fresno at the moment is that there's not a lot there, and it's still just far enough away from my family to kind of be a hassle. But I thought about Fresno. And hey, if anyone from Chaser wants to offer me like a really good paying job in Fresno, because I know that that's where they are, I'll do it. So, Richard Macia says, I know what you mean. I'm thinking about moving out of California myself. There are a lot of great places out there, but I think I'd miss California too much if I left. Yeah, probably. Robert Allen said, stay out of Washington. It's getting overpriced. I've heard that Washington is getting very overpriced, largely because of Amazon and Starbucks and Microsoft. Yo, Dark Road Run, haven't talked to you in a while. By the way, Dark Road Run, I did get your text. Look, Aaron's a good guy. I would not invest in the Amazon thing. I know he's got good intentions, and maybe it'll work for him, but I don't trust Amazon. I don't trust Amazon, so don't do it, please. Okay, Sean Knox said, what's your best delivery app? Caviar, easily. Caviar tells you how much you're making for each trip, exactly how long it's going to take, and what you're picking up. You have all the information that you need up front. They can do it, everyone else can too. Tony said, Rideshare Professor made a comment on so-and-so's channel telling him to stop using other YouTubers' names for views. Well, I mean, look, you can tell him to stop that, but he's not going to, because that's what got his channel subscriptions. Picking fights, and I figured out the spiel pretty early. That's why, But anyway, yeah, I wish Torsten would, because I talked to him, actually. He called me and asked about that guy, and I just told him, you know what? The best thing to do is to ignore him. Just ignore him. I mean, you give him attention, that fuels the fire. It's, the thing is, it's kind of sad, but he's not part of the UberTuber community. Not really. He alienates everyone, and I mean, it speaks volumes that, me and the Rideshare Professor... I talk to Rideshare Professor, I talk with your personal driver. I talk with... Dark Road Run technically is a rideshare person. He doesn't do a lot, but he is one of them. And I talk to the artist formerly known as Uberman and Drive Girl Drive and Uber Hints. And, we all have relationships. Now, I think maybe it's because of my friendly disposition and just my general niceness in overall that I speak to almost all of these people, and some of these people that I know don't necessarily get along with other people that I talk to, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. That's their personal thing. But that guy, it's sad. He doesn't really have the support of anyone in this community. I mean, some members I know find him personally amusing. But yeah, this is why he's not invited to collabs or anything, because he just badmouths everyone. So I prefer to take a friendlier approach. Like, hey, you know what? We can have a disagreement. Let's just disagree professionally and courteous. So, but, I hope he comes around. I think that if he would give people advice on how he makes that $2,000 a month, rather than just bragging about it, he could be very valuable. So, anyway. Hey, Transporter Tech. And, let's see here. Robert Allen, heard any more about Pull Up and Go? Actually, yes, I did hear... the funny thing is, the founders of Pull Up and Go actually wrote me an email thanking me for making videos about them, and they wanted to clarify that they are not out of business. They are actually working on some things, and more specifically, they are working on their license to become an official TNC company. So apparently they will have something to announce hopefully soon. But they are not out of business. They felt comfortable saying, you can tell your viewers we're not dead. We are still planning on going nationwide at some point. We're just working on the license right now. So Pull Up and Go is not dead. It's just on a break. That's all it is. So you heard it here first. Pull Up and Go will be launching once they get the license figured out. So let's see here. Dark Road says I'm half Uber tuber, dad's side. Oh, get it. Um, yeah, that's guys, I can't take claim for the Uber tuber. That's actually Mark from Uber Hints. On the podcast, he said I call them Uber tubers, and it makes sense because you have like your booktubers out there, and those are people who primarily talk about books, and you have your your vloggers, and so yeah, Uber tubers. That I just liked that. So now I'm just saying that it's like, yep, I guess they're Uber tubers. So you know, let's see. Dark Road Run says wish them the best. Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all just want like something else other than Uber and Lyft. And I actually want something else because I would like to start talking about rideshare and have something to honestly recommend. I mean, but Sasha Law says he was proven wrong but still can't admit to it. That's just called being prideful. Like my mom raised me to be careful about being prideful, and I've fallen into this trap. I remember I remember the first time I got a story wrong and I misunderstood something so wildly, and I talked about it, and turned out that was not the case. And I had to make, but I had to make a video, and I said, "Hey guys, I was wrong about this." And you get a lot of flack for it. You get a lot of, well, why are you reporting on the story before you even have all the facts? That's not what real journalists do. Which, in theory, you're right. That's not what journalists are supposed to do. It happens. I mean, look, watch CNN, watch Fox News, watch NBC. You think they have all the facts before they start reporting on it? No, they are reporting on it, and the facts will become available as they come. And then, what's more, they actually will go 24 hours. Like if a plane crashes, you don't know anything other than the fact that the plane crashed. And for 48 hours, you're hearing about the plane crash and finding the most insignificant detail that you can. And they're saying theories, and they're talking to professors. And AV's like, what could have possibly gone wrong? We don't know anything, but you got to fill the time. So I'm not doing it 24 hours a day. But my whole thing is like, when I'm wrong, I definitely try to own up to it. Carlos said, any updates on Vugo? I don't think Vugo caught on. I don't even know if they're still around, to be honest. The problem, one of the problems was Vugo that made people a little uneasy with it, is that you had to invest in a tablet and a stand, and once you start putting valuable things in your vehicle that people might want to steal, that makes you more of a target for being hijacked or whatever. So that's why a lot of people probably didn't get into Vugo. But Vugo was a good idea. But, and of course, there's probably something in there that if someone reports to Uber that you had advertising in your car, they'd probably deactivate you. Namely said, I am going to buy the domain name ubertube.com. And what are you going to do with that? I mean, yeah, it's a phrase. Like, at least a couple of us are using it, but I mean, what would you... Wow. Now I'm starting to wish I had bought the domain name first. Because I just got a good idea what to use it for. But, oh well. Anyway, Richard says, have you noticed that there are too many pot smokers getting into California Ubers nowadays? Last night I had 2 in my car and they gave me 1 because I thought I was driving crazy. Yeah, well, that was gonna happen when California legalized it. I mean, personally, I voted no on the legalization of marijuana. You know, I don't really, I didn't like the idea because I was driving Uber, like what that would do, but you know, I just didn't like the fact that people would be getting high all the time and then get in my car, make my car smell bad, and I really hate that smell. So I voted no on that principle alone. I knew I would fail in my attempts to vote it down, but you know, and yeah, more high people getting in your cars now. Thank you, California. Driver631, when are you getting married? I will, yeah, so I guess I'll clarify that, folks, now. Me and Katie are not married. That was like a joke one time, and we kept it going for a while. We're not actually even engaged yet. But, you know, I'll keep you guys up to date. But let's just say any contributions you might be making to the site will definitely help with with hypothetically maybe a nice ring. Who knows? I gotta say for certain things first. But I'll keep you up to date. It shouldn't be too much longer. Dark Road Run says, I'd love to start a YouTube channel. Actually, something called like, comment, subscribe. I could free advertising for everyone. Richard says CNN, crap news network. Actually, CNN stands for Creative News Network, which says a lot because news isn't supposed to be creative. It's supposed to be factual. So, let's see here. Transporter Tech, I got suspended from Uber because of a pothead. Yep. Let's see here. So, Driver631, have you ever do a physical job before? Yes, I've had many physical jobs. And I even technically have a physical part-time job now. It's just because I got to save for that hypothetical ring or wedding or something, so I took on an extra job to start first paying off some debt, which there's not a lot. There's like $5,000 of debt, and I can have that paid off before the end of the year. And then I got to start saving for things. So, yeah. And granted, well, it depends what you mean by physical. If you're talking about like, you know, moving things, then no, probably. It's been a while. I used to work at Target. That was my first job. But now I do accounting stuff for a company, so I won't name who it is, but I do it. So let's see here. Tita, living life my way. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you on the channel. I've been watching some of your videos. Pretty good stuff. So, you know, if you ever want to be on my underground podcast, which I will continue when I get back from Lake Tahoe and the family is gone, and you know, I think my next guest on that show was Driving with Christian, actually. But of course, I'm always looking for other under 1,000 subscriber Ubertubers who might be interested in talking. So, you know, just keep throwing that out there. Driver says, I've been doing side jobs, painting, demo work, power washing, making good money, and cash is king. I agree. Anomaly says, the boy who cries. Tita says, thank you. Okay, yes. Oh, okay. So we'll see you later, Dark Road Run. Enjoy dinner. So let's see here. So what else can we talk about it? So it's going on for 24 minutes. I'm assuming that means the stream has largely been good. Driver631, did you vote Trump? Guys, I'm not... No. But I don't hate him either. I didn't think either he or Hillary was a good choice, so I voted for Gary Johnson. It was just not a great election year. I decided I wanted to see if a third-party candidate could get 5% of the votes, because if someone got 5% of the votes, they would have a stage in the debate, on the debate stage. And after the last 2 candidates, it's like I felt, you know, we really need a third party on the stage the next election. So I voted Gary Johnson. It was an investment vote. I think he got 3%. He was 2% off, so bummer. But there you go. Vinny says, hit me up, South Florida driver here. Hey, Vinny, how you doing? Richard says, there are neighborhoods in Los Angeles where the area smells like pot. Inglewood, Compton, and so on. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into stereotyping, but it doesn't surprise me. Let's see here. Patrick Pitts. Why are the bus fare riders hoarding Uberpool and Uber Express at a frantic pace? This is crazy as heck in Atlanta, Georgia, as the behavior is reflective of that immensity. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Patrick. I just don't know what that means. Maybe you might want to reword it. Driver, is California breaking up into 3 zones? We're going to vote on it. I don't think so, but we're voting on it. Tita says, you should have your own talk show. You'd be awesome. Well, I'm working on those things. That's why I'm doing more podcasts. I'm doing more live streams. And, and one of those podcasts is, where I interview, Uber tubers, and who knows what that's going to turn into, but I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm, so I'm just practicing, really. I know I stutter a lot, and I know I'm not as smooth as I should be, but I think the more I do it, maybe next year I'll be able to do like a live show and do it successfully, maybe be like a John Campy of something. So let's see here. Sketchone says, I was saying the only way Uber drivers in NYC is going to get a raise is that our governor stops Uber from operating in NYC until they give us a raise. It will affect their profits from NYC. Possibly. Richard says, I would rather have had a businessman than a corrupt politician. Well, yeah, and you know what? There's a lot of people who still say that, how could anyone vote for Trump because he was obviously not qualified for the job. And I mean, the businessman aspect is one part, but I knew several people who were so tired of politician lies that even though Trump was clearly not a politician and he was spewing all this stuff, some people I know liked that. They were like, hey, I know what I'm getting when I vote for someone, so that's worth a vote right there. You could definitely agree with that statement if you want, but there's, unconventional candidates get people to vote for them for unconventional reasons. So, let's see here. Vinny says, I enjoy being on our podcast. Do you make videos, though? Because, one of the... there's like 3 rules to be on the podcast. The first is that obviously you have to have a YouTube channel, and you have to be making videos that are related to the rideshare industry, or even, like eBay, Amazon, TaskRabbit, things like that. The second thing is that there has to be less than 1,000 subscribers. This is kind of like a shout-out podcast thing. I'm trying to help lower people get up. So if you have, like for example, I was trying to get JJ, the karaoke driver, on that show for a while, but she just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, from my perspective, she's made it. So she can't be on that podcast anymore. She could be on the other podcast. She could fill in for one of the hosts, but she can't be on the Underground podcast now, which disappoints me a little. I actually really wanted her on the show, but for some reason she didn't respond to my messages. Then the third thing, and this is definitely a personal thing, I have to kind of see some potential. Like, this person should be bigger, they make decent stuff, or they have the potential to be good, so let's have them on the show and talk to them. So those are the 3 things. Simply driving for Uber is not enough. Although I have been contemplating, for the main podcast, having the occasional Uber guest star on my channel where I would talk and see what it's like driving for Uber and how they make their money. So, who knows? There might be a place for you somewhere, Vinny. Let's see here. Patrick says, have you ever noticed how people act on a bus? Loud, pretentious, and over... Oh, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, of course, guys. Of course people would act like that on Uberpool and Uberpool Express. I mean, it's really odd. I always notice that every time the prices get lower on something, people expect a lot more. When I started Uber and it was like $10, the minimum trip was $10. And by the way, $10, even if it's just a 2-mile trip, totally fair, by the way. The driver's got to get paid and the company's got to get money. That ensures that everyone gets paid. Well, I noticed that the cheaper it is, the more rowdy and the more obnoxious people get. I don't know. I mean, Prince had like a very interesting comment when someone pointed out that his mansion was in Milwaukee, I think, or Missouri instead of Los Angeles. And they said, well, you know, Prince, you live in kind of the middle of nowhere and there's snow everywhere. He's like, yep, but it keeps the rats out. So, um, driver said UberX dropping the mile rates and increasing the time rates in Dallas. You know, I have heard about that and I'm going to have to do some research, but that might not entirely be a bad thing. I think the time rates are actually one of the biggest problems right now. And if the time rates are done in a way where you make more than minimum wage per hour, then that might actually be a good thing because, you know, anyone who's been stuck in traffic for an hour on an Uber ride knows that that is incredibly non-profitable. So maybe that would fix some problems. I don't think they should be decreasing the mileage rates as well. I guess it depends how. Well, here's the thing. If I have to do some research, so if anyone wants to send me screenshots of what Uber's announcing, my email address is in the description. If they because I'm from LA, so say that they drop the mileage rates from like 71 cents to 60 cents. I could live with that if the minute rates went from 12 cents to 30 cents. I could totally live with that change. That's a good compromise in my opinion. But if it's going like from 12 cents to 15 cents, well, anyway, there you go. But I'm going to have to find out what they're doing because I think that's my next big topic to cover. Let's see here. Vinny says, listen, this president has made progress with Korea. I hope he has. I mean, I really hope he has. That's kind of a tricky one, though. We don't know for sure. I mean, he made progress in the sense that we're talking to them. I don't know if the talks are going to work out, but I hope they do. So, I see Driver and Robert had messages deleted by Namely, so I'm guessing they didn't like some political comments I made. I always get into trouble when I talk politics, but anyway. Driver says, UberX sucks. No money, no surges, and no tips. I only do Ubereats on boosting. Sketch says, the only good rideshare to work for are Juno and Via, and they're not many places, so. Namely says, I'm going to remove any trash talking comments on Trump and Obama. These comments were getting heated and nasty. Yeah. And I'm going to clarify, folks, that I voted for Obama once. I voted for him during the second election. Not the first one. I voted for McCain the first time through, but I voted for Obama the second time. Didn't vote for Trump. Didn't vote for Hillary. I like to hope that that none of these people are evil. That in their own strange way, they do have people's best interests at hearts. And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But, you know, I was raised, again, I said this before on these live streams. My dad raised me to respect whoever was president. And he told me that when Bill Clinton was in office, and he didn't like Bill Clinton. So I just, I support whoever the president is. And then when the election comes around, if I don't think they've done a good job, I will do my best to vote them out along with everyone else. And if enough people think that they don't want them in office, like they would rather keep them in office and I don't want them in office, well, okay, I guess I got to accept that. That's how democracy works. Okay, oh, hey, Driver Steve's here. How you doing? So, hey, Kevin, a few months ago, I won your free trial for MoviePass. I've since canceled because I could get no customers response with unrelated. Well, Driver Steve, yeah, the customer service is not great, but, well, first thing, let me ask, what were you trying to get them to, do? Because the thing is, objectively speaking, MoviePass is still a good deal. And, I mean, it kind of depends what the customer service issue was. So, yeah, I'm actually now curious to know what happened, because most people don't mind, especially when it's free movies, so. Driver, have you ever been to another country? I've been to several other countries, so. Let's see here. As drivers, we know we are driving for when we turn the apps on. Drivers have the power to create change, but they don't have the heart to do so. No, I agree. I agree. Richard says, has anyone gotten a tip on Uber Eats? I have actually gotten a few tips on Uber Eats. Not many. Really not many. But I've got a few. So, let's see here. Driver pits. You have to work in nice neighborhoods. That's where they... I don't know about nice neighborhoods. I find rich people don't tip because they have the money and they don't want to give it up. But then, of course, the poor people don't always tip because they don't have the money. So I think a middle-of-the-road suburb is a good place to deliver. Personal opinion, of course. So, anyway. Okay, I'm all caught up in the messages. Are we... Patrick says, you are doing a good thing as well. Ride with Peterson, drive girl, keep doing your thing, keep it classy and for him. Yes, it's nice to have Peterson back in the game, and he's definitely giving good, useful rideshare advice for people who drive Uber Black and Uber Select. So, I'm glad that he's back. And he seems to be doing better. So, and Drive Girl Drive, I mean, she's definitely doing her thing too. So, I mean, as we discussed in the podcast, I don't know if we can do rideshare forever. It's kind of become a limited market, but I will talk about it as long as I can. So, any final questions or comments? It's been 36 minutes, so I think we could say live stream was fairly successful. We can do live streams here. Next time I do a live stream, I might just have like a topic on hand and we can really focus on it. But anyway. No? Okay, well, next time I do a live stream, I'll give out a free copy of The Hobbit. So, An Unexpected Journey for digital. So anyway, oh, Driver Steve. I went to check in at a movie theater in Rohnert Park. MoviePass said I wasn't in the proper location. You have the GPS turned on? There's certain background features you're going to have turned on with MoviePass. And that's actually a real easy fix. You just restart the app usually. I hate to say that, but that's usually. And here's the other thing, Driver Steve, that I should mention. And I don't know if you can get back on MoviePass, but if you're having app problems and you can't check in, it's no problem. You take a picture of your ticket stub, or you buy the ticket out of pocket. You take a picture with your ticket stub and you email it to them, and 2 to 3 days later, they refund your money. So, that's how you do it. Richard Massius says, MoviePass, they were probably from an overseas operator. No, actually, that is one of MoviePass's biggest problems, is that they've got like 80 people from America on customer service, and that's why if you need like a pressing issue now, it's not very good. But if you email them in a few days, they'll always email you back, and they'll usually fix it, so... Driver Steve, I followed the location that the MoviePass says that the theater was at, but it took me to a house. I don't know what to tell you on that one. It has never done that for me before. I don't know what's going on. Namely, if you cancel MoviePass, you won't be able to rejoin for 4 months. Oh, it's actually 9. Although, maybe Driver Steve is in a special section for that because it was a free trial, so who knows. Richard says, you should have Ride for Peterson on your podcast. He has been on my podcast, and it was a good episode. Hi, Lowrider Scratcher. How much it costs to take Uber Pool per ride? Dude, you're going to have to check the app. I don't know where you're going. It depends. So, that with upfront pricing in the app, they always tell you, though. So, there you go. All right. Well, I think that's probably going to be it. Anyway, for all those who were watching this after the live stream fact, comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly and maybe afford a ring. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.